This video is going to show you how we can answer the question about how the length of a ramp affects the work that it takes to raise a cart up to the top of a stack of books. And we're going to start off with a couple boards. Those are the ramps that we're going to be using. They are two lengths, but we can adjust them to use for other lengths. Let's say that we want to start off with a ramp that is 1 meter long, which is the length of the long board. So grab the long board, set it up on the stack of books right on the edge there so that you get the full length of the ramp up to the stack of books. And next thing you want to do is you want to get out your physics car, which is what we're going to use to measure the force of. And you're going to need your force sensor, and you're going to hook it on there. Now, the way we want to do this is we're going to set this up so that the back wheel of the car is at the bottom of the ramp, right? And so, ideally, we would be pulling this car all the way up the ramp. Now, that might work fine for most of the ramp, but the problem is that as soon as we get to the top of the ramp, you're going to see that we can't actually keep the car on the ramp to get the back wheel to the top, to that meter. So what we're going to do instead is we're basically just going to hold the ramp in place and measure the force that it takes to hold it there, which will be very, very similar, almost the same as the force that it would take to roll it up the ramp. You all know how to use the force sensor by now. So you're going to need to take 3 trials for each length of ramp. Use the procedures with the force sensor that we've used for the previous experiments using it in terms of measuring for 10 seconds and then finding the median force for that time interval. Next thing you're going to do, once you've measured the 3 trials for your meter, you're going to take the board and you're going to measure, let's do 75 centimeters. So you take that, you measure it, and it lines up right with, at this point, you can make a little mark on the ramp as well. And now to make sure that a ramp is 75 centimeters long, you slide it up so that the 75 centimeter mark is at the top of the stack of the books. You put the cart back on. So now you've got the right ramp length, and that'll give us the right shape ramp to measure. And it's the same situation, you hook up the force sensor. Again, you can't pull it all the way to the, this one might work a little better, but eventually you run into the problem where the cart falls off the ramp before it gets to before the back wheels get up to the top of the 75 centimeter length. So instead, hold it in place, measure the force, 3 trials of that, and then you switch and you use the 50 centimeter ramp. So here's the, again, if you do the measurements, you'll find that's a 50 centimeter ramp. Set it up. Notice the ramp length keeps getting shorter, and as that happens, you see that it's getting a little bit steeper. And again, the goal is to measure the work for that. So take the cart, put it on the ramp, and now you really see the problem that you can't really roll that cart up the ramp, so you just have to hold it there, have someone else start Logger Pro, so to measure the force. Take 3 trials, do the same thing, switch over, measure the ramp to where it's 25 centimeters, make a little mark, set that up here. At this point, the ramp is so heavy that you're going to need to prop it with something. So you could use another stack of textbooks or something, but at this point then, you're doing the same procedure as before. Hold the cart on there, measure the force, 3 trials, and you're done. The last thing you have to do is actually calculate the work that you've done, which you should know how to calculate by now, but you have the forces, you know the ramp lengths, you have everything you need to calculate the work.